something interesting is happening with the Super Brittle in BTD6, as Ninja Kiwi has been trying to make this thing into an attacker by itself. So the Super Brittle is normally known as a support type of a tower, which does a couple of things by itself. I mean, the shards are really nice, it amplifies the damage, it decamos, and obviously once you get to the tier of 5, you know, it's a tower that amplifies the damage by a lot, so it works well with some other towers, especially towers that have a lot of projectiles. The thing is, with the addition of Silas, as Ninja Kiwi is explaining it, they feel like this tower is a little bit too niche. So what they're doing in the latest update is they're trying to crank up the numbers so that this thing can actually do damage by itself. Now, if you guys take a look at the numbers are actually insane. Like, this is no small change that they're trying to implement with the Super Brittle. In fact, take a look at the attack speed. The attack speed is going from 1.8 seconds to 1.2. That's a decrease of a third. The main damage is getting increased 5-fold. Goes from 1 to 5. It gets extra ceramic damage, which is plus 5. So this thing is now going to be basically 2-shotting ceramics. And on top of that, the ice shards, when they explode, they're going to be doing 10 damage instead of 5. This to me is absolutely nuts, because now what we can do with this tower and what we're about to do in this video is we're going to see how strong this guy is as an attacker, which you never actually do. You usually buy this thing as a support tower, but can it do damage by itself now, and how strong it is? Obviously, it's gonna have some problems with, of course, you know, with mob class balloons. It's not gonna be able to break them apart, and if we want to pop the mob class balloons, we're gonna need to have ceramics and small balloons spawn, and then with the shards coming out of those guys, we pop the mob class balloons. But I think I do have a solution for that problem. So let's see how we're doing in the early game. I mean, this is balanced. Obviously, I wanted to play it on good maps, so we're gonna be mega buffing our ice monkey. Yeah, so far so good, obviously, but we're gonna have some white balloons in a second, so we want to respond to that. So how do we want to start things off? Let's get an alchemist. Like, we just need a little bit of extra damage because the white balloons are going to be our only weakness. Let's say it on strong. Let's get the larger potions. And I was thinking of running Silas, but I feel like Silas is a little bit too strong, and he's going to be taking some pops. He's going to be slowing the game down, and also it might make the Super Brittle a little bit too strong, actually. So I wanted to just kind of see how good the ice is by itself. Oh, is this going to be fine? The damage over time? Oh my god, it is, I think. Oh no, in the side. Is it going to tick on this one? It is. That's crazy. Yeah, let's get this guy Camel. This is a great tower, by the way. You can pop Camelot just like it is. Like 2-1-0. Camelot. Done. Insane. And actually, just so we solve the zebra and the white balloon problem in a way, we should get the shards. Because when the shards explode, like, the main attack doesn't pop, obviously, white balloons and zebras, but if the shards get them, then they are going to be able to pop them. So are we getting some shards? Let's see. Yeah, so let's have the alchemist attack, and then boom. And I think we got like at least one of them. Alright, so let's see how we're going to do with the shards. Now, we're going to need some good shards to pop these zebras. So obviously, the alch is helping. Oh my god, that was insane. Alright, never mind. I thought we were going to have to wait for the RNG, but I think, yeah, we're doing fine so far. There we go. That was some good shards as well. A lot of white balloons on this one. Never mind. Never mind. These shards are insane. Yeah, so it's kind of weird using this tower, right? Because usually the way that you use it is like, I don't know, versus Dread Balloon, like you want to delete it. You use it as a damage amplification tower. Maybe you're defeating a boss with a tax zone. You're just dropping something like an embrittlement for the extra 1 damage. But as a main DPS, let's see how we do versus all these pinks. Yeah, the ice shards are absolutely insane. And this is only going to get better because remember, they got their damage improved from 5 to 10 on the Super Brittle. This is gonna get nuts. So here's what we need to do. We're gonna have some camel white balloons on this one, and we cannot pop those guys, so we're gonna get a sub, but I'm going to submerge the sub eventually. I don't want this thing helping out for the entirety of the game. So we're gonna need some extra mob damage, obviously, for the first mob, but then if we can manage to buy the Super Brittle for the 50s, that's gonna be obviously the, you know, the best choice. Let's get the twin guns. Let's go for something like, I think we're going for the air bursts anyways, and then the 302. And yes, so in comes the mob in a second. We're getting the embrittlement for the +1 damage, but obviously we're gonna need to buy this thing for the Super Brittle, and then I think we're just gonna have to unsubmerge the sub now for the mob around 40. So let's go like this. Let's see if we even have the damage. We have 3.7k if we need to react. Obviously, as soon as the mob layer is gone, like, we beat the ceramics no problem. And I actually want to beat the ceramics only by using the ice, so I'm gonna submerge this guy. And can we see the shards in action? One more attack, please. Oh, that's nuts. Yep, I'm telling you guys, these shards are absolutely insane. That is so good. And these shards do work on mob class balloons, so we might be seeing like straight up blue mobs just explode in front of our eyes with just one attack if everything goes to plan. Okay, so let's watch 49. This is gonna be an interesting one because a bunch of ceramics, obviously, they're gonna get wiped in a second, so just get ready for absolute demolition of these small balloons. But then the 50s are gonna be interesting because we are gonna need to do some sub action. The money's really not there, but yeah, look at these ceramics with the shards just exploding. That is nuts what's gonna be happening with the Super Brittle. And keep in mind, we're not even stopping there. Like, I want to mega buff this thing as much as possible. Okay, now this one is gonna have a lot of ceramics and mobs, so maybe we're gonna see the mob explode now. let's kind of watch what's gonna happen. We're gonna get yeah, there we go, exactly like that. Oh, so it is possible. Of course it is. We bought the Super Brittle, but we leak again. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm being super greedy because look at the setup that we have. Just like a 320 Alchemist, 420 Ice, and then just a 302 sub. Like this is not cool. This is not okay. But yeah, we finally do get it. I just wanted to rush the Super Brittle basically. Okay, so now I'm gonna submerge the sub once we have this thing, and this thing should be 2-shot. Oh my god, the ice shards are insane. Oh yeah, that's crazy. That is nuts how good it is. This guy pop mobs by himself now. I think he might be, because if we can, yes, he can. Okay, that's great because we have a long way to go with this tower, so we can do this, maybe a jungle drums to start things off. Is he dealing with a BFB though? I don't think it is. I actually don't think it is. I mean, maybe we give it like a strongest stim or something like that. This is already good. Oh my god, I popped the layer. Like, this is already good. The fact they popped the BFB layer, and if the inside's leaked, then that's completely, oh, that's super close. I think we might have it. All right, so we're not quite there with the BFBs, but once we get the overclock, I think we will be. So I'm gonna submerge the sub for a second. Yeah, it's not even close. Once you give it just a tiny bit of extra damage. Yeah, let's rush the overclock then. Let's go for that thing next so that we can give it some attack speed. See how these rounds go, by the way. So for example, 63 is not gonna be an issue. Yeah, let's see how we're doing this time around. Yeah, so of course, again, small balloons, you get the shards pop, the entirety of the mob layer gone. That's how easy it is. I was kind of thinking about how we want to scale this into the ultra late game, and I was thinking of an unstable concoction alchemist because it helps out with the popping of these big balloons, creates these explosions. The explosions create small balloons after that, and then these small balloons are, I guess, gonna be a little bit easier for him to deal with and kind of break them apart, and just maybe we get a little bit more shards, or at least that's the idea. We're gonna see how it works in the late game, in the 80s and 90s, but for now, yeah, this is like not even funny how good it is. It's really good. It's actually kind of insane. So yeah, just mobs on this round. Let's see how we do versus them. We're very close to the overclock, and as soon as you get some small balloons, yeah, just everything explodes. I think that the only thing that's stopping this guy from dealing with BFBs and just the entirety of like pre-free play rounds is just having an overclock, which we are gonna have the money for in a second. So this is probably gonna be the last time in which I'm unsubmerging the sub. So let's have it strong, and actually, you know what? Let's submerge it because yeah, oh my god, I think I even might have clicked the wrong button there, but these shards are insane. So let's get the overclock, and I'm pretty sure with the overclock now we're fully popping BFBs. So let's see if that's actually true in the next round that we get BFBs. Alright, so that's a BFB incoming. So let's overclock, and if he can pop this BFB, then that means that before free play starts, this thing is not losing to literally anything. And I think it's actually going to. Yeah, that's so much better than the 160. That's insane. Alright, so this is how an overclocked and I guess just alch buffed and jungle drums buffed Super Brittle looks like nowadays. This thing is insane. It's stacking super fast. It's doing a lot of damage, and there's still a lot of room to grow. So maybe we get extra range to the primary mentoring. We can give it the mid-pap Desperado buff. I don't think that's kind of, the first one of the priorities. It's not first in line, but it's a thing that you can do. But some of the things that I actually want to do is a call to arms village for sure, and then maybe a little bit more support towers to just keep all of these balloons in the middle. So maybe I was thinking something like a glue or whatever. Oh my god, that explosion was nuts, by the way. Yeah, the entirety of the round just exploded in like one pop. That is crazy how good this guy is. You can also go for Silas if you want to buff him, by the way, but I don't want to do that because I feel like Silas might be a little bit too much for it. So yeah, let's just keep it like this, and I think the next thing we're going for is going to be the village, believe it or not, the mid-path village. I want to get the call to arms. So here's a guy that we're likely not dealing with yet, and are we ever going to deal with ZOMGs? Not exactly sure. So let's unsubmerge the sub to start things off. I'm going to overclock our Super Brittle. I mean, the sub is going to do a little bit more damage to the ZOMG layer, but once we get to the BFBs, I'm actually going to submerge it because I still, only want to see the Super Brittle go down. So as soon as this layer pops, I'm just kind of ready with it. Let's overclock again, and let's go like this, merge it. And I think the Super Brittle is going to clean up. Even though the ZOMG made like one turn around the mill, I think it's going to be fine with the shards. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is where the actual problems start. A lot of big balloons. It's not a lot of oh my alright, never mind. I mean, as long as you keep popping those big balloons into small ones and you get a lot of shards, I guess it's not a problem. But yeah, I know for sure the game plan is clear to everyone at this point, right? Small balloons, shards, pop the big balloons. That's how you win. We get the unstable concoction, but before that I wanted to get the call to arms. So there we go. Oh, you know what? This round is only blue mobs. This one is gonna be glorious, actually. Yeah, there we go. Look at these shards with some ceramics beneath them. That is crazy good. Some rounds this guy is just not even close. Okay, so overclock, and then here's what we're gonna do for 84. I'm gonna finally buy this thing, the unstable concoction. I think we're going for the larger potion, set it on strong, and then yeah, with these explosions from the unstable concoction, I think this is gonna be super helpful for a tile like the Super Brittle. Let's watch these BFBs start exploding now. I'm not even touching the call to arms, by the way, and this is gonna be glorious the second we start. Let's overclock it again. Oh my god, what? What is happening? How good is that with all these explosions? These guys are the perfect combo, aren't they? Okay, so let's see how we do on 87 now. So I'm unsubmerging the sub, but as soon as the first ZMG pops, I'm just going to submerge it because we can deal with BFBs. We also have the call to arms if necessary, but I'm going to try and save it. So let's see how it goes. None of these guys has popped yet, which is a little bit concerning, but maybe we get some good explosions. Okay, so one of them popped, so now submerge. We get some BFBs, and then with some good explosions, we are going to wipe the round likely in like 2 seconds if we get some good explosions, right? So let's go. Oh, that. Yep, exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, this new Super Bill is nuts, and if, like, obviously it's not gonna be like a combo, it's not gonna be like the tower that you might expect it to be, like a tag zone or whatever, like a sun avatar, you know, a tower that just cleans everything out. It's not gonna be there for sure, but this is super fun so far. This new Super Bill is absolutely insane. Alright, so let's talk about DDTs. We have not talked about DDTs once, and we're gonna see our first ones. Obviously the permafrost, and this guy can attack them. Permafrost gets applied to them, so I guess they are gonna be slowed down a little bit. Plus it did buy this glue here in the range of the Camel Village, so we're gonna be slowing them as well. I don't know, was round 90 a good gauge for our power versus DDTs? I don't think so. I think we should wait and see at least 93, if not 95. And I did dump the call to arms for the ZMGs on the previous one, and that was glorious, but I might have made a mistake because 93 is fully leaking, it seems like. Alright, well, that's a big yikes, I guess. So do we try it again? Maybe a little bit of RNG. I mean, if one DDT explodes, I'm pretty sure all of them explode, right? So let's overclock. I mean, we do have the overclock, it's just that I don't think we're popping like a single one of these guys. Nope, never. Oh, there we go. We get some explosions though. Alright, so let me get the transforming tonic, and I'm gonna click the ability. And if we just pop like one of these DDTs, I think the ice shards are gonna pick it up. So let's just click it. Yeah, exactly like that. Now we just need a little bit of extra damage, so we pop them sooner, and then we get the shards, and then the shards obviously explode and clear out everything. Yeah, that's crazy good. Okay, that round was my bad though, because I used the call to arms on the previous one, which was a little bit unnecessary, I think. And that's 94. Where is 94 going? That's insane. I mean, I thought this was going to be a little bit longer, honestly. I thought we're gonna have something to talk about in 94, but it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so let's overclock, save the call to arms. I mean, I'm loving every second of this. Now this is going to be a big one. 95. So what is the plan? Honestly, call to arms. That's the plan. Let's dump it right now. Let's combine it with the overclock. This should last for the entirety of the round, I'm pretty sure. And if it does, then yeah, 95 is done. I mean, we just need a little bit of extra. Yeah, just shards, pop the small balloons. You guys know how it goes. This is not even close when you combine both of the abilities. That was a joke of a 95. The good thing is we didn't even have to dump the transforming tonic to help out a little bit with the damage and get some small balloons, so that's good, obviously, but some 45s on this one. So call to arms coming off cooldown, let's use it again. If anything, maybe we should have gotten Geraldo as the hero, not for like the extra help, but for the rejuffs in case we mess up the cooldowns or in case we just don't have an ability ready. Yeah, honestly, other than that, this is looking very good so far. So just dump both abilities. I know there are a lot of ZMGs. Maybe do we dump the transforming tonic now? I mean, I see some BFBs at the bottom, and as soon as these guys start popping, yeah, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, exactly like that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna dump the transforming tonic on this one, because 45 ZMGs, I don't think we have the damage for 45 ZMG, so let's just help ourselves out a little bit. Yeah, it's expired. It's a little bit of extra damage, but we just need to get some of these explosions going, and hopefully we get all abilities for 98. So $42,000 if we need to. We have the money to react, but let's see how everything goes. I think we just, yeah, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's dump all abilities at once and pray, and then if this thing doesn't work, then I don't know. We're gonna see what we do, but I also activated the transforming tonic. It's not doing a lot of damage, obviously. The only thing that we need is just explosions. And I know there are a lot of balloons in the middle, but I don't know, like this whole round can disappear in like the next 5 seconds, though we are leaking a little bit. Alright, so here's the plan. Glue storm with the bottom pad to stop the small balloons from leaking on the sides. Well, it's not exactly gonna stop them, but it's gonna slow them and maybe keep them for a second longer in the range of the super bill, and then we get some good shard explosions. So let's use it right now. And again, this whole round can disappear in a second. You know, blinking, you miss it. Yeah, exactly like that. Oh my god, is this actually, guys, what is even happening with this tower? Like, how crazy of a tower? That was around 98. That was the most difficult round in Chimps in BT6 with over 300k RB. Yeah, and then 45 DTs just getting wiped again. I don't know what they did with the Super Brillo tower, but this thing is absolutely nuts. 1.5 million pops. I can tell you it sucks versus big balloons. Obviously, it's not popping the bad, so I'm just gonna get the first strike here on the side. Let's overclock it, obviously. Let's use the first strike, and is this gonna be enough damage if we combine with the glue storm and everything? everything. I mean, I hope it is. This guy is going to be packing... Oh, it's not packing a punch. Never mind. I thought he was going to be doing more damage, but I don't think he is. So let's see how close or far we are for popping this bat. Yeah, that's kind of far. Let's try the Spike Storm approach now. Now, Spike Storm is a little bit better because we have a lot of damage amplification towers. So these spikes are going to do a lot of damage. So as soon as the Super Brittle starts attacking, just dump both of the spikes and that should be about it. I'm also going to dump the Glue Storm, by the way. So go like this, overclock, both spikes, and this thing should disappear. Yep, exactly in a second. And that, guys, let me just check the pops on this thing, by the way. So what is the final tally of pops? 1.5 million pops on a Super Brittle out of all towers. This new Super Brittle is absolutely insane, and I love this change. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm going to see you all in the next one.